Hello, my dear friends. Imagine you are resting beneath a soft blanket, the room around you growing quiet as the evening settles in. Take a slow breath and let the modern world fade gently into the background. Tonight we are traveling back in time, not through loud battles or dramatic scenes, but through the calm hidden corners of ancient life. Tonight, you will explore what it felt like to live as a teenager in ancient Rome. And slowly, softly, we will drift into the everyday rhythms that shaped young lives across different ancient cultures. This is a simple journey, a gentle walk through history meant to help you rest, to help your thoughts unwind, and to help your body feel light and peaceful as sleep draws near. So as you breathe slowly, imagine yourself stepping onto the warm stones of an ancient Roman street. The sun is rising, and the world around you is just beginning to wake. You are not a visitor here. You are a local teenager, living in a world of marble buildings, bustling markets, and quiet courtyards. The sounds, the smells, the clothing, the way the people move. Everything is familiar to you, because this is your life now. Let the picture become clearer, but stay soft, like a dream forming gently behind your closed eyes. Let us begin your morning in ancient Rome. Your room is simple but warm. The walls are decorated with gentle colors, soft reds and yellows painted in smooth strokes. A small oil lamp near your bed still glows faintly. You haven't blown it out yet. Sometimes you like leaving it on through the night because the warm light feels comforting. Your bed is made of woven ropes and covered with a smooth blanket that your mother folded for you the night before. As you sit up slowly, you can feel the cool morning air drifting through the small window above you. Outside, you hear the distant sounds of footsteps, merchants preparing their stalls, a rooster somewhere calling softly, the first hints of life stretching awake. You dress in a simple tunic, soft and light, easy to tie at the waist. Nothing fancy, just something comfortable enough to move in throughout the day. Teenagers in Rome didn't worry much about style. Comfort mattered more than decoration. As you adjust the fabric, you feel the familiar weight of the bulla hanging around your neck, a small protective charm given to children at birth. Almost every teenager in Rome had one. It is meant to watch over you and keep you safe. Even if you don't think about it often, touching it gives a little feeling of reassurance, like the world around you is still holding you gently. When you step into the courtyard of your home, the sky is soft and pale. The fountain in the center of the courtyard makes a quiet, steady sound, like a calm heartbeat. Your mother is already awake. She moves slowly, preparing small tasks for the morning, placing bread near the table, making sure everything is in order. Your father might be leaving soon for work. Perhaps he is a merchant, a soldier, a craftsman, or a scribe. Each family has its own rhythm. You hear voices in the next room, but nothing rushed. Everything in a Roman morning starts slow. For breakfast, you eat something simple, a piece of bread dipped in olive oil, maybe with a sweet drizzle of honey if your family can afford it. The taste is gentle. You eat slowly, not because you are trying to savor it, but because mornings in Rome were not meant to be hurried. People believed that beginning the day calmly created a peaceful mind. After breakfast, you step outside into the street. Imagine the warm stone under your feet, the gentle breeze brushing against your tunic. The road stretches in front of you, lined with houses, shops, and people. Teenagers in ancient Rome spent much of their day learning, working, or helping at home. Some went to school with a tutor. Others learned trades or trained their bodies for future responsibilities. Everyone had a role to grow into, but the days were still filled with small, ordinary joys. As you walk, you see other young people your age. Some are carrying baskets for their families. Some are running errands. Others are strolling slowly, chatting quietly, enjoying the morning air. You hear laughter in the distance, the sound blending softly with the city's early movement. This world feels alive but not overwhelming. It hums like a gentle melody, steady, warm, and familiar. Your first task of the day might be school. Not a large building, but a small gathering in the shade of a pillar or under a simple roof. Your teacher, called a ludus master, speaks slowly, guiding the class through reading, writing, and numbers. The lessons aren't strict. They flow at an easy pace, and you follow along with the others, drawing letters carefully on your wax tablet. The scratching of the wooden stylus creates a soft, soothing sound as you press lines into the smooth surface. Learning is calm here. There is no rush. The teacher corrects mistakes gently, repeating the same line until everyone understands. Behind you, the marketplace grows louder, but even that sound feels like part of the day's rhythm. People bargaining, calling greetings, laughing, all blending into the background like a soft soundtrack to your childhood. As the morning moves on, the sun climbs higher, warming the stone streets. The city of Rome becomes brighter but still comfortable. You take breaks between lessons. You sip water from a clay cup. Sometimes you and your friends talk about simple things, favorite foods, games you want to play later, or stories you've heard from travelers who claim to have seen faraway lands. Being a teenager here is not stressful. It is gentle. It is slow. It is shaped by habits and routines that make each day feel familiar and safe. And as we continue this journey, we will explore your afternoons, your friendships, your home life, your festivals, your clothing, your work, your dreams, and slowly drift into other ancient cultures as well. As the calm Roman morning slowly drifts toward midday, the world around you becomes warmer, brighter, and more alive. Yet even as the city grows busier, your own day continues with a gentle rhythm. After finishing your lessons, you walk back through the streets, feeling the smooth stones under your sandals and hearing the soft echo of your footsteps between the tall walls of the buildings. The sun hangs above you like a warm lantern, casting long, soft shadows across the road. The air smells faintly of fresh bread, olive oil, and the sweet scent of figs being sold in small baskets. Children run past you, laughing, chasing each other through the alleys, their voices blending with the distant calls of merchants. But nothing feels sharp or loud. Everything melts into the soft soundscape of a peaceful Roman day. When you reach home, you step into the cool shade of the courtyard. The fountain continues its gentle dripping, the slow rhythm calming your senses. Your mother is preparing lunch, a small meal, often simple, sometimes a stew, sometimes leftover bread dipped in herbs. You sit with your family not in silence but in a calm flow of conversation. People speak softly here, choosing their words slowly, never in haste. They share stories from the morning, small updates, quiet laughter. This is how families bond in ancient Rome, not with grand celebrations but with daily moments like this. You eat slowly, savoring the mild flavors. Nothing spicy, nothing overwhelming, just comfort. After lunch, the day becomes quieter again. Romans believed in resting during the hottest hours, so you find a place in the shade, perhaps near the courtyard pillars, or beside the small window in your room. You lie down or sit comfortably, letting your body relax, letting your mind drift, feeling the stillness that settles over the house. Outside, even the streets grow quieter for a while. The city breathes slowly, as if napping along with you. Teenagers like you sometimes use these hours to read, practice writing, or simply daydream. You might trace patterns on your wax tablet, letting your thoughts wander gently. When the heat begins to fade, you rise again. This is the time when Roman teenagers often went outside to train their bodies, play games, or help their families with afternoon tasks. Imagine yourself walking toward a small open area where youths gather to practice exercise under the guidance of older mentors. The ground feels warm beneath your feet. Some teenagers run slowly around the space. Others practice throwing a discus made of stone or bronze, and others learn simple wrestling techniques. It is not competitive. It feels more like a ritual, a way to build strength, discipline, and confidence. You join them, stretching your arms, moving your legs, feeling your body loosen. After training, you stroll with friends through the streets. You pass shops selling pottery, spices, and fabrics. You hear soft music played on a lyre somewhere in the distance. The soft metallic notes drift through the air like a lullaby carried by the wind. You and your friends talk about dreams, the kind of future you hope for, the paths you may take. Some wish to become soldiers. Others hope to become merchants. A few dream of traveling beyond Rome, across the sea, into lands they've only heard about. The talks are gentle, filled with curiosity, not pressure. Everyone understands that life unfolds slowly, step by step. As afternoon turns to early evening, you return home again. The courtyard is peaceful. Your parents light small oil lamps, their warm glow filling the rooms with a soft gold. Shadows dance lightly across the walls, flickering in a rhythm that makes the house feel alive. The smell of evening stew drifts through the air. Lentils, herbs, maybe a little meat if your family can afford it today. You sit with your family once more, enjoying the warmth, the quiet, the feeling of being safe. And as the evening deepens, your day as a Roman teenager continues into a calm night. As the warm Roman evening settles gently over the city, your home begins to glow with the light of small oil lamps placed carefully around the rooms. Their flames are soft and steady, dancing slowly in the still air, turning the walls a warm golden brown. This is the most peaceful time of the day, a moment when everything slows down, when families gather not out of duty but out of comfort. You, as a Roman teenager, move through the house feeling the cool floor under your feet, the quiet hum of distant street sounds fading into the background. It feels as if the entire world has exhaled and eased into calmness. Your family sits down for the evening meal, a simple but comforting dinner. There might be lentils simmered with herbs, warm bread, olives soaked in oil, or small pieces of cheese. Sometimes, if luck or wealth allows, there may be fish or roasted vegetables. The flavors are gentle, reminding you that Roman food was never rushed. It was made for slow eating, slow talking, and slow living. You sit together, sharing thoughts about the day, speaking softly, listening closely. Even disagreements sound calm here, softened by the golden lamplight and the feeling that night has wrapped everything in a quiet blanket. After dinner, the roads outside darken. The city becomes quieter, shadows growing long over the stone streets, and the night breeze carries the faint scent of burning oil and distant kitchens finishing their last tasks. You step outside for a moment, maybe onto a small balcony or into the courtyard, and you feel the air cool against your skin. You hear the soft murmurs of neighbors talking somewhere far, a dog barking lightly, the distant rumble of a cart being pulled home. Rome is always awake, but at night it speaks more gently. Back inside, you find a place to sit. It may be near a low table or beside the fountain in the courtyard or near your sleeping mat. Many Roman teenagers loved listening to stories in the evening. Your father or mother might tell tales of heroes, gods, and old battles, not with excitement, but with a slow, relaxed voice meant to teach more than to thrill. The stories wash over you like warm water. You hear the name of Jupiter, protector of Rome, and of Minerva, goddess of wisdom. You hear about great generals, sailors who crossed the vast seas, and farmers who turned barren fields into thriving land. Each story feels like a quiet lesson wrapped inside a dream. And then comes a softer part of your evening routine. Some teenagers use this time to practice reading or writing again, tracing letters on a wax tablet with a small stylus. Others simply sit and reflect, lost in thought. You might watch the shadows flicker on the wall, or listen to the wind brushing the edge of the roof. Life in ancient Rome didn't rush forward. It moved like a slow river, steady and patient. And you, living in this world, feel yourself drifting gently with it. As the night deepens, your body grows heavier with relaxation. The lamps burn low, casting faint halos of light around each flame. The rooms grow dimmer, quieter. Your parents remind you to sleep early, as tomorrow's lessons begin with the sunrise, just like always. You prepare your sleeping space, a simple mat, maybe filled with straw, covered with a woven blanket. Your room is small but safe. You lie down, and the cool night air touches your skin. Somewhere far away, someone finishes a late chore. Somewhere else, a baby cries and then falls quiet again. Rome sleeps unevenly, some people awake, some resting, but your home is calm. As you close your eyes, you feel the subtle comfort of a life where every day has a gentle structure. Lessons in the morning, rest at noon, training in the afternoon. Stories in the evening, all tied together like beads on a thread. Your last thoughts drift slowly across your mind, soft and unhurried. Tomorrow will bring new work and new learning, but for now, the world is still. And in the peace of your small Roman room, you slip deeper into the quiet of the night. As the new day opens slowly, you find yourself stepping outside your home and into the gentle morning light of ancient Rome. The streets feel different at this hour, calmer, cooler, almost washed clean by the silence of the night. You walk slowly, the stone ground slightly damp beneath your sandals, carrying the faint warmth left over from yesterday's sun. The world feels fresh, as if the entire city is stretching, yawning softly before fully waking. And you, still young, still learning, feel the day unfolding in front of you like a long and peaceful path. The streets of Rome are never truly empty, but early mornings belong mostly to the quiet workers. You see bakers already preparing warm loaves, the air around them filled with the comforting smell of rising bread. You see old men sweeping the fronts of their houses with slow, repeated motions, their brooms brushing gently against the stone. You hear soft greetings exchanged between neighbors, voices low and friendly. Everything is unhurried. Everything feels like a slow beginning, and you walk through it with a peaceful curiosity, absorbing the city the way someone might listen to a gentle melody. As you continue, you reach the open marketplace. At this hour, it is not yet crowded, but there is enough life to make it feel warm. A few vendors set up their stalls, placing baskets of figs, grapes, and olives neatly on wooden tables. The sound of doors sliding open, crates being moved, and cloth being unfolded creates a soft rhythm. You watch people preparing for a day of trade, each one performing a small part in the vast, living machine of Roman life. It feels almost comforting. Everyone has a place, a purpose, a rhythm they follow. And even as a teenager, you can feel yourself slipping into that same flow. You continue walking, sometimes stopping to notice small details that older people no longer pay attention to. The way sunlight reflects off the white stone walls, the way pigeons gather around a fountain, dipping their beaks into the cool water, the way a distant group of children laugh as they chase each other through a narrow alley. Ancient Rome may be large, powerful and bustling, but in these small moments it becomes simple and gentle. It becomes a place where you can breathe slowly and feel safe. As the streets fill little by little, you walk past temples where early worshippers offer quiet prayers. Some light incense, and you watch the smoke rise in thin, delicate curls, carrying the scent of herbs and resin into the air. Others stand silently with their heads bowed, asking the gods for good fortune, strength, or protection for their families. You may stop for a moment too, placing a small offering on the temple step, not out of fear, but out of habit, out of the feeling that the gods are woven into the very fabric of daily life. Soon the sound of footsteps grows louder, workers heading to construction sites, merchants opening their shops, young students like you making your way toward your lessons. Rome wakes fully, and the peaceful morning shifts into a gentle but steady hum. It is not loud enough to disturb, but strong enough to remind you that life here moves forward with purpose. As you continue down the road, you feel the warmth of the sun slowly growing, touching your skin with soft rays. You know your day will soon fill with learning, training, and responsibilities, but this quiet morning walk is yours alone. A moment where you can breathe, think, and simply exist in the heart of an ancient world filled with stories, history, and endless small beauties. And with each step, you feel more connected to this life, to this city, to the rhythm that carries every Roman forward. As the morning grows brighter, you make your way toward the place where you study, a modest learning space, often in a small courtyard or under the shade of a portico. Roman education for teenagers is not grand or luxurious. It is simple, quiet, and focused. When you arrive, you see a few of your classmates already sitting on low stools, their writing tablets resting on their laps. They greet you softly, nodding rather than speaking, because early lessons usually begin with silence, allowing everyone a moment to settle their thoughts. The faint sounds of birds and distant footsteps drift in from the street, creating a natural calm that makes learning feel slow and steady. Your teacher, called a magister, stands near a wooden table with scrolls carefully rolled and stacked. He has a patient face, one that has seen many students come and go. When he speaks, his voice is measured and calm, guiding you through lessons of reading, writing, and clear thinking. He believes that knowledge is not a race but a gentle unfolding. So he teaches slowly, repeating ideas until they become familiar, encouraging you to understand the meaning behind every word, rather than simply memorizing. The rhythm of his teaching feels almost like waves washing gently on the shore, steadily shaping the mind without ever rushing. As you listen, you hold a wax tablet in your hands, using a stylus to carve letters into the smooth surface. The sound of the stylus scratching is soft and repetitive, blending with the quiet breathing of your classmates. Sometimes the teacher walks by, placing a light hand on your shoulder as he checks your work, his presence reassuring and warm. At moments like these, you feel the weight of the Roman world, not as something harsh or powerful, but as something structured and guiding, gently shaping you into who you are meant to become. Lessons continue with readings from simple stories, tales of bravery, myths of gods, fables with quiet moral lessons. Your teacher reads aloud with a slow, steady voice, and you follow the words carefully, letting them settle in your mind. The stories feel ancient even to you, and yet they are comforting, like old companions that return each day. Sometimes you close your eyes for a moment, imagining the scenes painted by the words, the gods walking across the sky, heroes on long journeys, animals speaking wise truths. These stories stay with you long after the lesson ends. After reading, your class shifts to learning numbers. Roman numerals, simple strokes and curves, are taught through repetition and gentle practice. You count quietly, writing symbols, adding lines, subtracting marks. It feels like assembling a small puzzle each time, and with every solution you feel a slight warmth of achievement. No one in your class rushes. Everyone works at their own pace, and the teacher only steps forward when someone truly needs help. The morning sun filters into the space, casting soft patterns across your tablet as you work. Sometimes the teacher pauses the lesson to share wisdom about life. How to show respect, how to speak calmly, how to walk through the world with dignity and patience. These moments feel just as important as reading or writing. You listen with the quiet understanding that you are being prepared not just for school, but for adulthood, for responsibility, and for the world beyond your home. In ancient Rome, learning is about becoming a thoughtful person, someone who brings honor to their family and calm strength to their community. As the lesson draws to an end, the teacher dismisses you with a gentle nod. You stretch your hands, relax your shoulders, and step outside again into the warm, late morning light. The streets feel a little livelier now, but you still carry the quiet of your lesson within you. You feel settled, grounded, and ready for whatever the rest of the day brings. Your walk home is slow and peaceful. The city moves around you, but the rhythm of learning stays in your mind. The scratch of your stylus, the steady voice of your teacher, the soft glow of sunlight on your tablet. These moments shape your days, shaping you in ways that feel almost invisible until you look back years later and see how far you've come. As the sun rises higher and the calm warmth of noon settles over the city, your day gently shifts into its next rhythm. After returning home from your lessons, you step into the cool shade of your family's courtyard. The stone floor feels refreshing after walking through the busy streets, and the faint splash of the small fountain at the center brings a touch of peace to the air. This is the time when many teenagers in ancient Rome begin their quiet duties, small responsibilities that prepare them for the steady path toward adulthood. Your mother might ask you to help her check the household supplies, grain, olives, oil, herbs. She trusts you with simple tasks, and you know these small duties matter. The storage jars are arranged neatly, each sealed carefully with wax or cloth, and as you open them one by one, you inhale the familiar scents that fill your home. Earthy grain, sharp olives, the comforting smell of dried rosemary and thyme. These aromas form part of the rhythm of daily life, a gentle reminder that a Roman household is its own small world, with its own balance and order. Sometimes your father returns from his business or public duties earlier than expected. When he does, you often accompany him on small errands, quiet walks to the market, a visit to a craftsman, or a stop at the local bathhouse. Not for a full bath, but simply to greet acquaintances or check on something being repaired. Walking beside him feels like a lesson too, though he rarely says much. In ancient Rome, teenagers learn by observing, by absorbing the calm confidence with which adults move through the world. You watch how he greets others, how he listens more than he speaks, how he carries himself with quiet dignity. These simple, everyday examples shape you more deeply than any official schooling. If your family owns a small shop or works in a trade, your afternoon might be spent helping there. Many Roman teenagers assist their families at work, selling goods, organizing items, or learning a craft. The pace is usually slow, especially under the warm afternoon sun. Customers drift in and out, conversations happen gently, and time moves with a steady softness. You learn to count coins, to arrange items neatly, to understand what people need before they even say it. Each task, no matter how small, becomes a quiet step toward adulthood. For some teenagers, afternoons are spent practicing physical skills, light training with wooden swords, simple exercises, or learning to ride. But even this is not rushed. The movements are slow and controlled, taught by an older relative or a patient instructor. They remind you to breathe steadily, to focus not on strength but on balance and calm precision. Standing under the warm Roman sun, you feel how your body listens to the rhythm of each movement, how your mind grows steady with practice. There is no pressure, no harshness, just the slow shaping of ability. If your household is more scholarly, your afternoon moments may include reading aloud with a quiet tutor or writing simple letters on a wax tablet. The house grows calm during these hours, with sunlight spilling through open doorways and the distant sound of neighbors talking or pottery being shaped somewhere nearby. You sit in the shade, repeating lines from old stories, your voice soft, your breathing steady. It is a peaceful way to spend the warmest part of the day, learning, imagining, drifting deeper into the thoughtful world of ancient Rome. Sometimes, after your duties are done, you simply rest. Romans understand the heat of the afternoon, and even teenagers often take a short nap or sit quietly with family. You might relax near the fountain, feeling the cool mist on your face as water gently ripples. You breathe deeply, letting the world slow down. The small rustle of olive trees, the far-off sound of carts moving along the street, the quiet hum of daily life, everything blends into a soft, soothing backdrop that makes you feel safe and unhurried. As the afternoon light begins to fade and the city gradually cools, you stretch your arms and prepare for the evening part of your day. You feel a peaceful satisfaction, knowing you've done your tasks, learned your lessons, and taken steps, small, gentle steps toward the person you are becoming. In a world as old and vast as Rome, every day is a quiet journey, guiding you with patience and calm purpose. As the afternoon heat slowly softens and the sun begins its calm descent, the streets of ancient Rome settle into a quieter rhythm. Shadows stretch longer across the stones, and the air cools enough for people to step outside once again. This is the time when your day as a teenager in Rome eases into a gentle evening, simple, warm, and filled with familiar sounds. You walk back through the busy lanes toward your home, but the noise feels different now. Vendors begin to pack away their goods. Children end their games. Lamps are lit one by one, sending small glows through open windows. You breathe in the comforting scents of the evening, the smell of bread being warmed, the faint sweetness of figs, and the soft smoke rising from small hearths. These smells wrap around you like a blanket, guiding you back toward your own doorway. When you step inside your home, your mother is usually preparing the evening meal. Roman dinners are simple for most families, but the atmosphere is gentle and shared. You may help her place clay bowls on the low table. You feel the warmth from a small pot of lentils. You hear the soft sizzle of vegetables cooking in olive oil. The steady, quiet routine of preparing dinner becomes its own kind of comfort. Sometimes the whole family gathers before the meal, sitting in the courtyard or near the fountain. The fading sunlight reflects on the water, creating soft shapes on the walls. Your father might ask you, in his calm and steady voice, how your lessons went. He listens without rushing you. In ancient Rome, evenings are often a time for slow conversation, for reflection, and for simply being together. You speak about what you learned, what you saw in the city, or something curious your tutor told you. These small discussions build your confidence, making you feel included in the thoughtful world of grown-ups. When the meal is ready, everyone takes their place. The food is warm, simple, and filling. A small plate of olives, a bowl of soft bread, cooked vegetables, seasoned gently with herbs your mother dried earlier in the year. Sometimes there is cheese or fruit, depending on the season. Rarely, there may be a bit of fish or meat. Small pieces, cooked carefully, treated almost like a celebration. You eat slowly, listening to the soft clatter of dishes, the low voices of your family, the faint sounds drifting in from neighboring homes. It's a peaceful moment where time seems to stretch and relax. After dinner, your father might unroll a scroll and read aloud. His voice is steady, soothing, carrying the calm rhythm of old Roman stories or simple poetry. You sit nearby, letting the words wash over you like a slow-moving stream. The stories are not read quickly. They unfold gently, with pauses that help everyone breathe and reflect. Even if you don't fully understand every part, the sound of the story itself becomes part of your evening comfort. Other nights you might step outside with your siblings or cousins. The sky over Rome darkens into deep blue, and the air grows cooler and fresher. You walk slowly along the street, passing quiet houses lit by oil lamps. Sometimes you see neighbors talking softly on their steps. Sometimes you hear a musician practicing a calm melody in the distance. These small sounds make the city feel alive, yet peaceful. You stroll without any rush, simply enjoying the coolness of the night and the gentle hum of Rome settling into sleep. Back at home, you prepare for rest. You change into loose, comfortable clothing, feeling the softness against your skin after a long day. The house grows still. The fountain in the courtyard becomes the loudest sound, its gentle trickle filling the silence. You might sit by it for a moment, dipping your fingers into the cool water, letting your thoughts settle like dust slowly drifting to the ground. In ancient Rome, nighttime is a time for quiet breathing, calm reflection, and slow unwinding. Finally, you lie down on your bed, which is simple but comfortable, often made with soft wool blankets. You stretch out, feeling the softness beneath you. The night air brushes lightly against your face through the open doorway. Somewhere outside, a dog barks once and then falls silent. The city dims, relaxing into a deep, restful stillness. You close your eyes, knowing that tomorrow will come with new lessons, new sights, and the gentle rhythm of Roman life continuing, steady and patient. With your mind calm and your breathing slow, you drift deeply into sleep, safe, warm, and at peace in your home in ancient Rome. As another peaceful morning arrives in ancient Rome, you begin to notice how friendships shape your world as a teenager. These connections bring warmth to your days, comfort to your evenings, and a sense of belonging that grows quietly over time. In Rome, friendships are more than simple companionship. They are woven into daily routines, shared learning, and calm moments of laughter. Imagine stepping outside after your lessons, the sunlight falling softly on the stone pathways. Your friends gather near the marketplace, leaning against shaded walls, watching the gentle bustle of the day. The greetings are warm, simple, and familiar. A nod, a small smile, sometimes a playful shove on the shoulder. These gestures speak louder than words. In ancient Rome, friendships feel steady and easy, not rushed or complicated. You might join your friends for a slow walk through the city streets. Together, you notice the small details most adults overlook: the smooth patterns on marble walls, the soft echoes under an archway, the way a vendor arranges figs in neat, colorful piles. You talk about simple things: a new idea you learned today, a story your tutor told, or a funny moment from the morning. The conversations drift gently, never rushed, like clouds moving lazily across the warm Roman sky. Sometimes your group decides to visit the public baths, not for bathing, but for the peaceful spaces nearby where young people gather. The baths are not always busy during the day, so you find quiet corners where the air is warm and the walls echo softly. You sit together, sharing snacks, laughing at small jokes, or simply listening to the distant hum of the city. These moments, though simple, become some of the most relaxing parts of your day. Other afternoons are spent playing small games. Romans enjoy activities that are calm yet engaging. Games with stones, small wooden toys, or gentle competitions drawn in the dirt. You and your friends play slowly, with long pauses for laughter or conversation. There is no pressure to win. The joy comes from being together, from the shared quietness and the simple pleasure of passing time with people who care about you. Some days you visit one another's homes. Your friend's mother might offer you warm bread or pieces of fruit. You sit together, sometimes in silence, sometimes sharing thoughts about what you hope to be when you grow older. One friend dreams of becoming a scholar. Another imagines becoming a trader. You may not know your own path yet, but hearing their dreams gives you a sense of possibility. as if life in Rome is wide and full of gentle opportunities waiting for you. In the evenings, when the air cools and the light grows soft, you and your friends often sit on a low wall overlooking the street. You watch people return from work, carrying baskets, talking softly with their families. You feel the calm pulse of the city around you. Your friends might hum a tune or tell a simple story from their home. These small moments of companionship feel precious in their quiet, unhurried way. Sometimes you walk together toward the river where the water moves slowly, catching the last golden light of the sun. You sit on the bank, legs crossed, watching ripples glide across the surface. The gentle breeze brushes through your hair, the water murmurs softly, and your friends sit beside you, close enough to feel their calm presence. In these moments, everything feels balanced. You feel safe, understood, and at ease. Friendships in ancient Rome are built on shared experiences rather than grand gestures. They grow each day, like vines climbing slowly over stone walls, steady, natural, and comforting. You begin to rely on this circle of companionship, knowing that whatever challenges tomorrow brings, these faces will be there. This sense of belonging becomes a quiet part of your identity, something that supports you like a gentle hand on your shoulder. As the night approaches, you and your friends walk back through the cooling streets. Lamps flicker to life. Windows glow warmly from inside homes. You exchange soft goodbyes, promising to meet again the next day. Your steps slow as you near your door, carrying with you the peaceful warmth of shared laughter and quiet company. Inside, your home welcomes you with soft light and familiar comfort. And as you prepare for sleep, you realize how important these friendships are, how they make your days lighter, your evenings calmer, and your world feel a little more complete. As another gentle morning settles over ancient Rome, you wake to the soft rustle of fabric and the faint warmth of sunlight drifting across your room. Clothing in Rome is not complicated, but it carries a quiet beauty. As a teenager, your daily routine of getting dressed is slow, calm, and almost meditative. There are no buttons, no sharp lines, only smooth folds of soft fabric that drape around your body like a warm embrace. You begin with the tunic, a simple garment worn by almost everyone. It is usually made from wool or linen, and when you lift it, the cloth feels cool and slightly textured beneath your fingers. You slip it over your shoulders, letting it fall naturally to your knees. There is something peaceful about the way it settles. No pulling, no adjusting, just a gentle weight that reminds you of the day ahead. Sometimes the tunic is a little rough, sometimes surprisingly soft, depending on how new it is or how many times it has been washed by your family. But either way, it feels familiar, like a second skin. You take a quiet breath, feeling the calm steadiness of the morning surround you. Next comes the belt, a simple cord or strip of cloth. You wrap it around your waist slowly, not too tight, just enough to bring shape to the tunic. The motion itself is soothing, like tying a ribbon around your thoughts and bringing them together. You stand for a moment, feeling balanced and centered, ready to step into the gentle rhythm of another Roman day. If you are preparing for something special, a festival, an outing, or visiting someone important, you might add an extra layer. A cloak perhaps draped over one shoulder. The cloak is heavier, with a comforting weight that rests against your back. You secure it with a small pin or simply let it hang freely, moving softly with each step you take. Walking with it feels almost like carrying a quiet cloud around your shoulders, warm and protective. Your sandals complete the ensemble. They are simple leather pieces tied with soft straps. As you slip your feet in, you feel the coolness of the ground beneath you. The straps gently tighten, giving your steps a pleasant, steady grip. Sandals in ancient Rome were not made for softness, but they give a calm sense of connection to the earth, each footstep carrying you through familiar streets, warm stones, and shaded pathways. As you step outside, you notice the clothing of others. Teenagers like you wear light tunics, while adults sometimes wear longer, thicker versions. Wealthier families wear more colorful fabrics, gently dyed with natural pigments, soft reds, pale yellows, calm blues, never too bright, always steady and elegant. You learn to read a person's life through their clothing, not through luxury, but through texture, color, and the way the fabric rests on their body. On days when your family washes clothes, you watch the ritual quietly. The garments are soaked in water, scrubbed with care, and laid out on warm stones or wooden racks. The scent is fresh, earthy, and simple. When the fabric dries in the sun, it becomes warm and soft, almost comforting enough to wrap around your shoulders immediately. These small domestic rituals create a quiet rhythm in your life, reminding you of home, family, and the slow, peaceful nature of Roman living. During festivals, clothing becomes part of the celebration. You might wear a cleaner tunic, freshly washed and smelling of sun-warmed fibers. Sometimes you add a simple wreath of leaves around your head, and the sensation is surprisingly gentle. The leaves cool against your hair, the stems slightly rough but comforting in their natural texture. It makes you feel connected to the traditions of your ancestors, as though each leaf carries a whisper of the past. When evenings arrive, the air cools, and you remove your cloak and tunic slowly, folding them with care. The act of folding the fabric is soothing in itself. You smooth the cloth with your palms, slide it into a neat line, and place it over a wooden chest or a stone bench. It is the final quiet ritual of the day, a soft pause before night settles fully around you. And as you lie down, wrapped in a light blanket, you feel grateful for these small routines. Clothing may be simple in ancient Rome, but it adds a steady rhythm to your life. Morning tunics, afternoon cloaks, evening folds, all calm, predictable, and grounding. Each garment feels like a gentle anchor to the world around you, reminding you that life, even in a bustling empire, can hold a soft, peaceful stillness. As the soft afternoon light spreads over the rooftops of ancient Rome, you find yourself walking through familiar streets, feeling the warm stones under your sandals. Being a teenager in Rome means living between two worlds, one of responsibility and one of gentle freedom. And in the heart of that world lie your friends, the people who shape your days, soften your struggles, and fill your life with quiet companionship. Your friendships in Rome are not rushed. They grow slowly, the way vines curl around old walls, steady and natural. Most of your closest friends are from your neighborhood, children you've known since you were little, faces you recognize the same way you recognize the first light of morning. Together you form a kind of second family, laughing, learning, and simply existing side by side. When you meet your friends, the greetings are warm but simple. No loud shouts, no hurried energy. Instead, there is an easy, familiar comfort. You walk together through narrow streets, past small fountains, over bridges with calm water flowing beneath. Sometimes you buy a piece of warm bread from a vendor, breaking it into pieces and sharing it without a second thought. The taste is plain but comforting, and the act of sharing feels as natural as breathing. Conversations drift gently from topic to topic. You talk about small things, what someone saw in the market that morning, a funny moment during chores, the behavior of a neighbor's pet dog or goat. Nothing dramatic, nothing sharp. Just the soft rhythm of ordinary life spoken between friends who trust one another fully. Some days you sit together on a quiet step or near a shaded wall. The sun warms your back and you listen to the distant sounds of the city, the clatter of carts, the quiet chatter of women carrying baskets, the soft splash of water from a nearby fountain. These moments feel still and safe, as though time pauses for the sake of friendship. Your parents encourage these bonds because they know friendships will shape your future. Roman society values loyalty deeply. A good friend today may one day become a partner in trade, a supporter in politics, or simply someone who stands by you during difficult seasons of life. And so, even as a teenager, you learn the gentle art of loyalty, keeping promises, listening when someone needs to talk, offering help without expecting anything in return. There are games too, simple but joyful. You and your friends might toss small stones trying to land them in a circle drawn in the dust. Or you might race down an open stretch of road, sandals tapping softly against the ground. Even in these playful moments, there is a calmness, a sense that life does not need to rush to be meaningful. Occasionally you join your friends' families for meals. The atmosphere is warm and grounded. Clay bowls, soft bread, mild cheese, olives soaked in oil, and gentle laughter. The adults speak slowly about their day while you and your friends exchange quiet smiles and small jokes. Sitting there, you feel connected not just to your own family, but to an entire community that wraps around you like a protective cloak. Festivals, of course, bring their own kind of friendship. On those days, you walk together through decorated streets, watching performers, listening to gentle music, and sharing treats that taste sweet and slightly fragrant. The air is filled with joy, yet even the celebrations carry a peaceful tone. Nothing rushed, nothing overwhelming. Just the calm delight of being young, together, in a world that feels ancient and endless. Even misunderstandings between friends are handled gently. Romans value harmony, and adults often teach teenagers to speak kindly, to apologize softly, to mend small hurts before they grow large. So when a disagreement happens, you talk slowly, with open hearts. A quiet apology, a small smile, and the bond becomes even stronger than before. As the sun sets, you walk home with your closest friend. The sky glows in soft shades of orange and purple, and the warm evening breeze brushes against your cheeks. You talk about tomorrow, your lessons, your chores, your hopes. And as you reach your doorway, you feel grateful for the simple blessing of companionship, a connection that makes even an ancient world feel gentle and safe. Friendships in ancient Rome are not loud or dramatic. They are calm, steady, and woven into the fabric of everyday life. They remind you that growing up is not just about learning responsibilities. It is also about discovering the quiet joy of being understood, accepted, and supported. And as night settles over the city and you prepare to rest, you carry the warmth of those friendships with you, like a soft light glowing in your heart. As another gentle morning rises over ancient Rome, you wake to the soft light slipping through your window, touching the room with a warm glow. The city is still calm, still stretching into the new day, and you begin your quiet routine of getting dressed. For a Roman teenager, clothing is more than fabric. It is a slow ritual, a way of preparing yourself to meet the world with calm confidence. You start with the tunica, the simple garment worn by almost everyone. The fabric is soft from many washings, light enough to feel comfortable in the warmth, but thick enough to offer a sense of protection. As you slip it over your shoulders, you notice its gentle weight, the way it falls naturally, the way it carries the faint smell of sun-dried cloth. There is nothing rushed about this moment. It is peaceful, like stepping into a familiar embrace. If your family is slightly wealthy, your tunic might be made of finer wool or linen, smooth beneath your fingertips. If your family is more modest, the cloth might feel coarser, woven by neighbors or even by your own mother or grandmother. But either way, it feels like home, simple, clean, and grounding. For boys, adulthood is marked by the change from the striped toga praetexta to the plain white toga virilis, a symbol of stepping into responsibility. For girls, the coming-of-age years are marked by the gentle shift from childhood ribbons to the graceful draping of a stola, the long, flowing garment that moves softly around the body. These changes are not rushed. They happen slowly, naturally, the way dawn becomes morning. Clothing is not about fashion in ancient Rome. It is about belonging to a family, to a community, to a tradition older than anyone you know. Every fold and seam carries meaning, connecting you to the generations who dressed the same way, walked the same streets, lived the same rhythms. As you adjust your tunic, you notice small details that make up your daily life. The belt tied around your waist, worn from repeated knots. The sandals beside your bed, their straps softening with every step you take through the bustling city. When you slip them on, the smooth leather presses gently against your feet, grounding you, reminding you that your life is lived on these ancient stones. Girls might wear simple jewelry, perhaps a clay bead bracelet made by a friend or a small pendant given by a parent. Nothing too lavish, just a touch of warmth and identity. Boys might carry a small charm or token, believed to bring protection or good fortune. These pieces are rarely removed, becoming part of you, quiet companions throughout your day. Hair, too, is a ritual of calmness. Boys often keep it short and neat, running fingers through it quickly before stepping outside. Girls may braid their hair slowly, twisting and folding the strands with care, the movements rhythmically soothing. Sometimes a mother helps, sometimes a sister, sometimes a friend. These moments are gentle, filled with the kind of silence that speaks of deep connection. Once dressed, you step toward the doorway, feeling the soft fabric brushing against your skin, the warm morning air touching your face. Your clothing may be simple, but it carries the story of your life, your family's place in society, your age, your responsibilities, and the quiet comfort of daily routine. As you move into the day, your tunic shifts lightly with each step, your sandals tapping softly against the stones. Nothing feels heavy or rushed. The world unfolds slowly around you, and you carry yourself with a calm awareness that comes from generations of tradition. By the time you reach the busy streets, you are not just dressed, you are grounded, steady, and connected to the ancient world that surrounds you. Every thread of your clothing tells a quiet story, and every step you take writes a new one. As the gentle Roman evening settles around you, the streets begin to soften under the warm glow of oil lamps. The noise of the day fades, and the city moves into a slower rhythm. You, a young Roman teenager, finally step away from the duties that filled your daylight hours. The marketplace is quieter now, the workshops are closing, and the scent of freshly baked bread still lingers in the air as people carry their last loaves home. Imagine yourself walking through a narrow stone street. The shadows grow longer. The sky shifts from gold to soft purple. A cool breeze slips between the tall apartment buildings, brushing lightly across your face. This is the most peaceful time of the day, the moment when Rome seems to breathe out, and you breathe out with it. You return home, where the small clay lamp in your family's room flickers gently. Your mother has prepared a simple evening meal. Maybe it's a bowl of warm porridge made from barley. Maybe some olives. Maybe a piece of cheese and a handful of figs. Nothing fancy, but comforting, familiar, and steady. A taste of everyday Roman life. You sit with your family on low stools or cushions, talking softly about the day. Your father may tell you about the work he did, the customers he met, the tasks he finished. Your mother might mention the laundry she washed or the neighbors she spoke to. You talk about what you learned or who you met or what the teacher said. The room feels warm, gentle, and slow. No rushing, no noise. Just small pieces of life shared in quiet voices. After eating, you help clear the small wooden table. Maybe you fetch a little water. Maybe you fold a cloth. In ancient Rome, every child learns to help the family, and evenings are the perfect time to do small tasks with calm hands. When everything is done, you step outside again. The night air is cooler now. You can hear musicians somewhere far away, playing soft melodies on a flute. A group of neighbors gather at the doorway of a building, gently talking, laughing quietly. Children chase each other in small circles, their feet tapping lightly on the stone ground. As you walk further, you notice the city preparing to sleep. Tavern doors slowly close. The shop front shutters fall down, and the lamps along the street burn with soft amber light. Even the animals quiet down. The donkeys stop braying, the chickens settle, and the dogs curl near doorways. Imagine standing there for a moment, breathing in slowly, feeling the calm of a Roman night. The moon appears above the rooftops, its pale light spreading like a thin blanket across the ancient city. You feel safe. You feel steady. You feel part of something timeless. When you return home for the night, your sleeping space is simple. A small bed made of wood. A mattress stuffed with straw or wool. A blanket woven by hand. You lie down, listening to the distant sounds of the city settling into deep silence. Maybe someone in your family whispers a short prayer to the household gods, the Lares and Penates, asking for protection through the night. A tiny shrine in the corner glows softly with a faint light. And then, slowly, the clay lamp fades, the world grows darker, and your thoughts grow gentle and slow. You close your eyes as a teenager living in ancient Rome, ending your day just like countless young people did thousands of years ago, under the same moon, with the same calm breath, drifting softly toward sleep. As the night deepens and the gentle Roman breeze settles, let us drift into another part of your life. The quiet, simple joys of friendship. Life in ancient Rome could be busy and demanding, But friendships held a special place, especially for someone your age. Imagine yourself waking the next morning, stretching slowly, hearing the early sounds of the city returning to life. After your morning routine and small tasks at home, you step out to meet the familiar faces of friends who live nearby. The streets are narrow but full of life. Laundry hangs overhead from one window to another, swaying lightly in the breeze. Children run past you laughing, while shopkeepers set out their goods for the day. You and your friends walk together, talking softly, sharing small stories from the day before. In ancient Rome, friendship felt simple, built on shared chores, shared lessons, shared games, and shared dreams. You remember the things you laughed about, the jokes whispered in class, the moments when you helped each other carry heavy baskets or run errands across the city. As you walk, imagine stopping at a small open space, a quiet courtyard where older stones warm under the morning sun. This is where young Romans often gathered. You sit on a step or lean against a pillar, watching the world around you move in slow, steady rhythm. Friends talk about their teachers, about what they want to become, about the small adventures they hope to have one day. Some might dream of being soldiers, standing strong in shining armor. Others might hope to be craftsmen or merchants or scholars. There is a softness to these moments, a gentle honesty. Nothing rushed, nothing forced. Just a group of young people sharing a peaceful moment in the center of an enormous city. Sometimes you play simple games. Maybe you roll small wooden hoops along the ground, guiding them with a stick. Maybe you play knuckle bones, a game like an early version of dice. The pieces make a faint clicking sound as they hit the stone floor, echoing lightly in the courtyard. Or perhaps you play ball, a soft, simple ball made of stitched leather. You toss it slowly, laughing when someone drops it, the game unfolding with a smooth, unhurried rhythm. Imagine the sun warming your skin, the cool shadow from a nearby archway, the light tapping of sandals on stone as people pass by, all blending into a calm, comforting background. For Roman teenagers, friendships were woven through everyday life. You saw your friends not only in games but also in work. You carried water together, fetched bread for your families, or helped sweep in front of a shared building. Even these small tasks became moments of bonding. A soft joke, a gentle smile, a shared secret, all becoming threads that tied you together. Sometimes in the evenings, after lessons or chores were done, you and your friends found a quiet spot to sit and watch the sky change colors. Perhaps on a stairway overlooking the river. Perhaps on a rooftop where the breeze felt cooler. From there, the whole city stretched before you. Rooftops, temples, busy markets slowly calming for the night. You felt small, yet connected, a part of something so much bigger than yourself. Your friends whispered dreams, hopes, maybe fears. You listened. They listened to you. Friendships in ancient Rome were deep, not because of grand adventures, but because of these slow, constant, simple moments shared over time. As the day fades and you say goodbye, your footsteps echo gently on the stone. You feel a warm sense of belonging, a feeling that even thousands of years later still remains familiar to anyone who has ever had a friend. Another quiet Roman evening settles, and you return home with a peaceful heart. As the night turns quieter and the lamps burn lower, Let us slowly step into another part of your life in ancient Rome, a part filled with color, sound, and gentle excitement. Festivals, holidays, days when the city changed its rhythm, when even teenagers like you felt a special kind of joy in the air. Imagine waking up to the sound of distant music, soft flutes, gentle drums, echoing through the narrow streets. It's early, but already the city feels different. On festival days, people rise before sunrise. Doors open. Voices drift up from every corner. Rome becomes brighter, more awake, more alive, yet still calm in its own ancient way. You step outside and the air feels warm with celebration. Ribbons hang across doorways. Fresh flowers are placed on small household shrines. Neighbors greet each other with light smiles. Even the street dogs seem to sense the excitement and walk with a little more energy. As a teenager, festivals mean freedom. No lessons today, no strict schedules, just simple, quiet joy. You walk toward the Forum with your friends, moving slowly through familiar alleys. The marketplace is busy, but not in its usual rushing way. Everything feels calmer, more pleasant. Vendors call out softly, offering sweet cakes made just for this day. Someone hands you a small honey pastry, warm, sticky, comforting, and you savor it slowly as the celebration continues around you. The heart of a Roman festival wasn't loud dancing or wild noise. Instead, it was gentle ceremony, peaceful gatherings, people standing together, listening to priests offer prayers for health, good harvests, and protection. You watch as incense rises in thin, graceful lines toward the sky, carrying soft fragrances of herbs and resins. The smoke curls above the altar, glowing in the morning light. Imagine the temple steps warm beneath your feet, the marble shining, the sound of sandals brushing softly against the stone. You look up at grand statues, calm and unmoving, watching over the people of Rome as they perform ancient rituals passed down for generations. After the ceremony, the celebrations continue in the streets. There are small performances, jugglers tossing bright balls through the air, musicians playing flutes and lyres, storytellers spinning tales of heroes and gods. You and your friends stand at the edge of the crowd, smiling quietly, letting each sound drift over you like a gentle breeze. Some festivals are sacred. Some are playful. Some celebrate the changing of seasons. For teenagers, each one feels like a new adventure, but without rush, without pressure, just calming moments woven into the fabric of the year. Imagine a spring festival, where garlands of flowers are worn like soft crowns. Young people walk together in gentle processions, holding fresh blooms, their steps slow and graceful. You walk beside your friends, feeling the petals brush against your fingers, breathing in the sweet scent of new blossoms. Or imagine Saturnalia, the most joyful time of the year. Houses decorated with greenery, small gifts exchanged, laughter floating through the streets. Even slaves are allowed a day of freedom. Masters serve servants. Rules soften. Smiles widen. Everything feels lighter, kinder. As a teenager, Saturnalia makes Rome feel magical. You stay up late with family and friends, sitting near lamps that flicker softly, sharing snacks and telling gentle stories until your eyes grow heavy. Some festivals revolve around sports and games. You walk to the Grand Circus Maximus surrounded by thousands of others who speak in whispers of excitement. But even this excitement is soft, not loud or overwhelming. Chariots race along the track, wheels humming against the earth. Horses breathe deeply, their muscles moving in smooth, powerful rhythm. You watch from your seat, feeling the warm sun on your face, the quiet thrill of being part of something so beloved by Rome. As the day winds down, the city grows calmer once again. Candles flicker from windows. Families settle into peaceful meals. Music fades into the distance. And you, still carrying the gentle happiness of the festival, walk home slowly beside your friends. The quiet streets glow with lantern light. The stones beneath your feet feel warm, and you know that nights like this, soft, peaceful, full of community, will stay in your memory for a long time. Another Roman night settles around you, and the celebrations drift softly into silence. As the soft glow of another Roman evening settles in, let us drift calmly into another part of your life. A part filled with gentle emotions, quiet connections, and the simple warmth of being young in a world both ancient and beautiful. This is the world of friendships, small crushes, whispered conversations, and the slow rhythm of social life in ancient Rome. Imagine yourself walking along a calm Roman street just after sunset. The sky is turning a deep shade of gold, fading gradually into a soft blue. Oil lamps begin to glow in windows. The city hums peacefully. You walk slowly, your footsteps steady on the warm stones, feeling the comforting stillness that arrives after a long day. Friendship was a precious part of being a Roman teenager, and it wasn't loud or dramatic. Instead, it was built through small moments, shared chores, lessons studied together, quiet walks to the market, or helping each other carry baskets of food. These moments created bonds that felt steady and familiar, like the gentle strength of old walls surrounding the city. Perhaps you have a small circle of friends, people you've known since childhood. You tease each other softly, laugh quietly at small mistakes, and share little secrets under the shade of olive trees. Sometimes you gather near a small fountain, listening to the steady sound of water as you talk about simple dreams, perhaps wondering what jobs you might do one day, or imagining travels across the empire. Friendships in Rome grew slowly, naturally, without pressure. They were shaped by trust, loyalty, and the peaceful rhythm of daily life. You learned to rely on each other, not through dramatic moments, but through gentle, everyday kindnesses. And then, there was the gentle world of young love. Not the dramatic kind we see in stories. No. Roman teenage love was soft, unspoken, often distant. Sometimes a glance across a courtyard. Sometimes a shy smile while buying bread. Sometimes just passing the same person every morning near the temple, exchanging a simple greeting that warms your heart for the rest of the day. Imagine standing in a bustling market, your hands holding a small basket, when you see someone your age arranging flowers at a stall. They don't notice you at first, but then they look up, and for a moment, your eyes meet. Nothing is said. Nothing needs to be. The moment is gentle, brief, and quietly beautiful. In ancient Rome, relationships at your age were complex. Families often arranged marriages for the future, so falling in love was more like admiring from a distance, dreaming softly, knowing the world around you moved with its own rules. But still, those moments mattered. They stayed with you, glowing softly like the small flame of a household lamp. You might write a short message on a wax tablet, practicing your handwriting, then erase it before anyone sees. You might pick up a fallen flower petal from the ground and keep it tucked inside your tunic pocket. Small, harmless gestures that carry a quiet sweetness. Evening gatherings were another peaceful part of teenage social life. Imagine sitting with your family in a small courtyard, vines curling around wooden beams above you. Neighbors stroll by and stop to chat. Children play slowly with carved wooden toys. A few teenagers, including you, drift to one side of the courtyard, forming a small group. You talk softly about the day, about chores, about the latest news from the forum. Nothing intense, nothing rushed, just simple companionship. There were also small community events, poetry readings, storytelling circles, little performances. You sit with your friends on cool stone benches, listening to a storyteller speak in a calm voice. His words float across the open space like a gentle breeze. You don't fully understand every myth or every lesson, but the sound itself comforts you. Sometimes you walk with a friend along the edge of the Tiber River in the early evening. The water moves slowly, catching the last light of the sun. You talk about nothing important, about dinner, about chores, about the weather. But in those quiet moments, you feel understood, safe, and steady. And then there are moments of solitude, moments where you sit alone on a step, watching the soft movement of people around you. Moments when you think about your future, your dreams, and the life you hope to build. In Rome, solitude was gentle, not lonely. It was part of the calm rhythm of growing up. As night deepens, you walk home through streets that feel familiar and warm. A soft breeze brushes past you, carrying the faint scent of olive oil, bread, and smoke from distant lamps. You feel the glow of friendship around you, the sweetness of small crushes, and the comfort of knowing you're growing into your place in the world. Slowly and peacefully, life as a Roman teenager wasn't grand or dramatic. It was simple, soft, human, and every quiet interaction shaped you, preparing you gently for the life ahead. As the gentle calm of another Roman day settles around you, let us drift softly into a part of life that brought joy, ease, and relaxation to every Roman teenager. The simple world of games, entertainment, and quiet leisure. Not loud, not overwhelming, just peaceful moments where you could forget responsibilities and enjoy the slow passing of time. Imagine the sun drifting lazily overhead, the warmth settling softly on the rooftops. The streets grow quieter during the afternoon. Most adults rest indoors, shops cool down, and for a while, the city seems to breathe slowly. This calm space became the perfect time for young Romans like you to enjoy a little leisure. Let's take a slow walk through this world. You stroll into a small open courtyard where a few friends are sitting on the ground. Smooth stones are laid out in front of them. They are playing a simple game of La Troncoli, a kind of ancient strategy game, similar to a peaceful, slow version of checkers. You sit beside them, shoulders relaxed, and watch their pieces move gently across the board. There is no hurry, no pressure, just soft laughter, quiet thinking, and the warm comfort of being together. Some days, your games are even simpler. You pick up small stones and play a game similar to jacks. You toss one stone up and try to scoop the others before catching it. The sound of the stones tapping the ground feels soft, rhythmic, almost like a lullaby. You smile each time you get a little better at it. Other times you challenge a friend to a friendly race across a small street or practice gentle wrestling, not to hurt each other, but simply to test strength and balance. It's not fierce or chaotic. It's playful, controlled, and respectful. The kind of behavior every Roman adult hoped young people would learn as they grew. But not all entertainment required movement. Sometimes, the most comforting moments were spent listening to stories. Imagine yourself sitting on a smooth stone bench near a public fountain. The water ripples quietly behind you. A traveling storyteller has arrived, and a small crowd gathers around him. His voice is calm, slow, melodic. He speaks about ancient myths, gods crossing the sky, heroes walking through forests, gentle romances blooming in moonlit gardens. You listen, completely still, letting the soft vibration of his voice settle into your mind like a warm blanket. Some afternoons, a musician comes to the forum. He plays a soft tune on a flute, the sound drifting like a thin thread of silver through the warm air. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the notes wash over you. In that moment, time moves slower, your breath deepens, and everything feels peaceful. At home, entertainment takes an even gentler form. Your family gathers in the courtyard after dinner. Lamps glow softly against the walls. A relative might tell a memory from their childhood, or someone might recite a simple poem. You sit close, feeling the warmth of people around you. The sound of calm conversation mixes with the soft chirping of night insects. These moments are small but precious, the quiet comfort of belonging. Teenagers in ancient Rome also enjoyed simple toys and playful objects. A carved wooden ball, a hoop rolled with a stick, even a small carved animal made of clay. These toys didn't need bright colors or batteries. They offered relaxation through movement, imagination, and simple joy. Sometimes you pass by the amphitheater, not for the loud games adults enjoy, but to see musicians practicing or to watch a group of performers rehearse gentle scenes from comedies. You sit in the shade, legs crossed, watching them move and speak. Their gestures are soft, their voice is steady. You find yourself smiling without even realizing it. And then there are peaceful moments where you simply watch the world itself. You sit on a small balcony or on the steps outside your home. Below you, the city moves slowly. A baker closes his shop. A woman carries a basket of figs. A few children chase each other. A dog sleeps in a warm patch of sunlight. The gentle rhythm of daily life becomes entertainment in its own way. Soothing, predictable, calming. In the evenings, as the air cools, you and your friends walk toward the riverbank. You skip stones across the surface of the Tiber. Each stone creates a soft plip, then another, before sinking quietly. You laugh softly when a friend manages 4 or 5 skips. These small, peaceful games stay with you long after the sun sets. Entertainment in ancient Rome wasn't about excitement. It wasn't about noise or intensity. It was about slowing down, being present, sharing small joys, and letting the mind rest. It was about feeling connected to friends, to family, to the world around you. As night drapes itself gently over Rome, you return home, tired in a warm, pleasant way. Your heart feels light. Your mind feels soft. and you drift into sleep knowing that tomorrow will bring more of these slow, gentle moments. Life for a Roman teenager was simple, calm, human, and in many ways beautifully peaceful. As the quiet night eases into memory and a soft Roman morning begins to rise, let us gently step into another peaceful part of your teenage life in ancient Rome. The world of festivals, celebrations, and the gentle happiness that came with them. Festivals in Rome were not always loud or overwhelming. Many were slow, symbolic, thoughtful, filled with small rituals, warm gatherings, and simple pleasures that gave people, especially teenagers, a break from work and study. Imagine waking up to the faint sound of distant bells and soft voices outside. Today is a festival day, and that means no school, no chores, no pressure. Rome feels different on such mornings, lighter, kinder, almost glowing with a quiet excitement that even the calmest person can feel. You step outside into the cool air. The streets look warmer than usual, decorated with small garlands of leaves gently hanging from doorways. Families walk together, dressed in clean tunics. Children laugh softly as they carry tiny clay lamps or flowers. There's a sense of gentle anticipation, like the whole city has taken a deep, slow breath. One of the most peaceful festivals is Parentalia, a day dedicated to honoring ancestors. On this day, you and your family walk to the cemetery with flowers and small offerings. The air feels almost sacred, soft, still, and respectful. People speak in hushed voices. You place your flowers near the family tomb and stand quietly for a moment, feeling a connection to generations before you. There is no fear in this moment, only calmness, gratitude, and the soothing feeling that you are part of something older and greater than yourself. Another festival, Saturnalia, feels much lighter, almost playful. Imagine Rome with soft ribbons hanging from windows, families exchanging small gifts, and even slaves being allowed to rest and enjoy free time. You sit with friends eating warm honey cakes, laughing quietly as you watch adults relax in ways they usually don't. The atmosphere is calm but joyful, like everyone decided just for a few days to let go of their worries. For a teenager, these festivals bring small treats, warm bread, sweet fruits, maybe a cup of mild wine mixed with herbs. All around you, people talk gently, share stories, and smile more easily. There's a softness in the air that makes even the busiest city feel like a peaceful village. Then there are the festivals tied to nature, gentle celebrations that bring a feeling of deep calm. Imagine walking out to the fields during Floralia, the festival of flowers. Women weave small crowns of blossoms. Children release petals into the breeze. You lie on the grass with friends, watching the sky fade from blue to gold, feeling the earth warm beneath you. The scents of fresh flowers drift lightly through the air and everything feels slow, steady, comforting. Some festivals honor the gods with peaceful rituals, lighting a lamp, offering a bit of bread, or simply standing in silence. You might visit a small shrine with your family, placing a little clay figure or a handful of grain as a symbol of respect. The temple atmosphere is quiet, filled with the soft flicker of lamps and the gentle murmur of prayers. And for teenagers, the festivals also brought special clothes. You might wear a clean white tunic, freshly washed, tied with a simple cord, your hair brushed neatly, your sandals polished. These small touches make the day feel special, almost magical. In the evenings, after the ceremonies and visits, families gather for meals. Not extravagant feasts, just warm, comforting food shared in good company. Bread, olives, cheese, maybe roasted vegetables. The lamps glow softly, casting long shadows across the walls. Older relatives tell stories about the same festival from years ago. You listen, relaxed, your head leaning gently against your hand, the calm rhythm of their voices settling your thoughts. Sometimes after dinner you walk outside to watch the torches along the streets. The flames dance slowly, their warm light flickering across stone walls. The city feels safe and peaceful. You hear a few musicians playing gentle tunes nearby. Couples stroll quietly. Children chase each other with soft laughter. You breathe deeply, feeling the cool night settle across your skin. Festivals gave Roman teenagers something precious: time to pause, time to connect, time to reflect, time to feel the soft, slow rhythm of life without the rush of daily responsibilities. They reminded everyone, young and old, that even in a vast empire, it was okay to rest, to breathe, to enjoy simple moments. As the celebration winds down and you return home, the city grows quiet again. The final lamps flicker. People close their doors, and you lie in your bed feeling that pleasant, warm tiredness that comes from a long, peaceful day. Rome, for all its power and grandeur, understood the importance of softness, of moments that allowed the mind to drift calmly, gently, like a leaf floating on a quiet river. As the gentle memories of festivals fade into the soft Roman night, let us slowly drift into another tender part of your life as a teenager in ancient Rome, the quiet world of friendships, affection, and the early emotions that shape a young heart. Love in Rome was not always loud or dramatic. For many teenagers, it arrived in softer ways, in passing glances, shy smiles, or long walks under the warm evening light. Imagine yourself stepping out into the courtyard at dusk. The air is cool, the stone floor beneath your sandals still holding the warmth of the sun. A few birds settle into the rooftops, their soft chirps echoing through the fading sky. In moments like this, your thoughts drift naturally toward the people you care about. Your close friends, your companions from school, and perhaps someone who quietly occupies a special place in your mind. Friendships in ancient Rome were deeply valued. Teenagers often formed strong bonds with classmates, neighbors, or cousins close in age. These friendships grew slowly, shaped by shared routines, studying together, walking to the baths, laughing over small mistakes, or whispering during lessons when the teacher wasn't watching. Picture yourself sitting beside a friend on a low stone wall, sharing pieces of warm bread dipped in olive oil. The conversation is soft, full of little stories about the day, someone's new sandals, a funny thing that happened at the market, or rumors about a visiting gladiator. There is no rush, no pressure, just the slow comfort of being understood. Sometimes, after long hours of study, you and your friends wander to the edge of the city to watch the setting sun. The sky glows in soft gold and pale purple. The breeze carries the scent of warm dust and distant cooking fires. You talk about simple dreams, perhaps traveling someday, joining the army, becoming a writer, or helping your family with their business. These dreams float gently in the air, filling the moment with a peaceful, almost timeless feeling. And then there is love, not the grand stories told by poets, but the subtle, gentle emotions that settle quietly in a teenager's heart. Maybe there is someone you notice when you attend a feast, someone who stands beside their family, adjusting their tunic nervously, someone who rarely speaks yet whose presence feels peaceful and familiar. Imagine seeing them during a festival. They walk past you carrying a basket of flowers, their eyes meeting yours for just a brief moment. It is not a dramatic moment, just a soft connection that lingers quietly in your thoughts long after they've walked away. In ancient Rome, teenagers often expressed affection through small gestures, a shared loaf of bread, a handmade bracelet of woven thread, a short poem scratched lightly onto a wax tablet. Words were simple, feelings even simpler, but something about those gestures felt sincere and grounding. Sometimes your affection remained a quiet secret, something known only to you. At night you might lie awake, listening to the faint sounds of the city. A lone dog barking in the distance, a cart rolling slowly over stone, the soft hum of wind against your window. And in that stillness, your thoughts drift toward the person who made your day feel a bit warmer. For some, love was arranged by families, decided long before emotions had time to grow. But even in those structured expectations, teenagers found room for tenderness. A gentle conversation during dinner, a shy smile over shared chores, a soft, gradual comfort that felt safe, steady, and real. There were also friendships that felt like family, bonds so strong they shaped your entire sense of belonging. These were the friends who walked with you to the baths, who joked with you while washing hands in the cold fountain water, who listened when you were frustrated or tired, who sat beside you during long ceremonies. These friendships often lasted a lifetime. In the calm evenings, young people sometimes gathered in small groups in the courtyard, sitting on low stools, eating figs and sharing stories. A musician might play softly in the background, plucking gentle notes on a lyre that drifted through the cool air. The soft glow of oil lamps cast long shadows across the walls, and laughter rose softly, never loud enough to disturb the peaceful night. Teenage life in ancient Rome was full of these quiet emotions: affection, curiosity, companionship, and the gentle longing for connection. Nothing rushed, nothing forced, just soft, slow feelings growing like candlelight, warm, steady, and comforting. As you walk home through the calm, moonlit streets, you realize that these small emotional moments, the friendships, the glances, the conversations, are what make daily life feel truly alive. And as you lie in your bed, the distant sound of a flute floating through the night, these gentle feelings settle in your heart like a soft blanket, comforting you as sleep slowly approaches.